Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wildlife Watch. My name is Vic Shaw, and this is our ancient woodlands, which is by far my favourite part of the site, for the simple reason it just seems to support so much life. It's such an established habitat, and there's lots of different wildflowers and different species that we can see at the moment. So join me if we're going to have a quick look. Now, we don't have to go too far in to find an array of colour. Now, they are not in their best voice this morning, shall we say, because they tend to come out on the sort of finest weather. All of these flowers here that we're looking at the moment, this one seems to be a little bit confused, tend to only open up on the sunniest, warmest days. Now, it's not a warm day this morning, and it is raining somewhat sort of intermittently, which is why most of these are currently closed. But this is lesser celandine. And I'll post a picture of what that looks like in full flower, because that is a very popular one for some of our pollinating insects, as is this one, woodland anemone. Now, I particularly enjoy seeing woodland anemone because that means that the soil quality here is very, very good. And that is because, like I say, this is ancient woodland. And what has happened over years is the leaf litter has come down, it is moulded down into the soil. The worms have got all the nutrients out of that old leaf litter and decaying matter, and they've made the soil here such a very rich habitat. And the fact that this grows here proves that, because this is the only place where this stuff generally grows. And so we've got a small patch of it here in among the celandine, and around the sort of wider area you can see there's sort of lots of that all scattered around, which is fantastic to see. There are literally so many bluebells in this area of woodland. Now, some extensive work goes on here to make sure that the ground is suitable for them to grow, to stop some of the species that would otherwise crowd them out, aggressive species such as laurel or bramble. And you can see the results right here. Now, these are very definitely English bluebells. You can tell, if you can see the shape of the fully formed flower. All the flowers are on the one side of the stem droops over in a curved fashion, and that's symbolic of our native English species, or UK species shall I say, because this grows in all areas of the UK. Now, some of the bluebells that you might see, even in sort of wild areas, are not always English bluebells. You have to pay particular attention to some of them and have a close look, because we have a European species which is predominantly taking over some of our wild areas. And the stem on that one stands much taller. It's generally sort of a bit of a lighter shade, and the flowers will come out on both sides of the stem and it will stand more upright. So that's how you tell the difference between the two. You can see here just how many of these that there are. And we are very keen to promote a stronghold of these, because these are sadly a declining species due to sort of lack of habitat and also competition from other species. And so to have our very own section of them here in this woods, we are very proud of. Now, not far away from the bluebells, probably because it prefers a very similar habitat, is this little flower here. This is greater stitchwort. It is another woodland flower, and like I say, it prefers the sort of type of soil you find in established habitats that have got all those rich nutrients in them. It only appears in the very early spring. It's symbolised by this cluster of white flowers, and we've got a patch of it here too, which is just a testament really to the habitat we've got around us, and how good this is for plant growth. And they are a lovely little species to see, and also very good for our pollinating insects. Greater stitchwort. Right, our next one, you have to get right down in the undergrowth to see. You can see there's two examples of the flower head for this one. This is arum lily, otherwise known as lords and ladies. A very historic plant. It almost looks like something out of folklore, where you'd expect to see pixies kind of hopping around it with fairies flying overhead. But it is a native UK woodland species. It is quite common. If you are eagle-eyed and you kind of know where to look, you can find this in hedgerows and woodlands, pretty much dotted all over the town, and probably wider afield, because it's a national flower. It's out now, and you can see this one with its flower there. What a spectacular sight that is. I absolutely love to see this, and this is such a fine example, and this is sitting proudly among our ancient woodlands, but you'd only really spot it if you knew where to look. So for the eagle-eyed out there, this is Lords and Ladies or Arum Lily, and keep a spot out for it because it is out in flower right now. looking at this here, this is yellow archangel. Again, it's another one which prefers this type of habitat of established woodlands because it requires a very nutritious soil even. And here it is, growing proudly on our woodland. So much out at the moment, and it's what you've got to remember is these flowers not going to be around for all of the season. They will come out, and each one will have their spell while they're in flower, and then another one will come along, and that is the joy of spring, as in from early spring onwards when things start to flower. There's a cycle of plants which come into flower and leave, and something else takes hold. And I can already see the growth for other things waiting to replace them. And we will do our best to document that as the year goes on. As we get down to this section of the woods, and because it's been raining, you can really smell that in the air. Wild garlic, also known as ramsons, and this is just about to burst into flower. You can see the bulbs of the flower head starting to form. They will open out, and this place will be an explosion of white colour on top of these leaves, which have this strong aroma. It is an edible species. People do use it in cooking at various stages of the plant's development. Me personally, I have used it in cooking, but I just really enjoy the smell, particularly as you get that sort of spring and summer rain, and it just really starts to release that smell. Oh, it's just amazing. There's no way I could really share in this video how good that smells right now, but it is just such a distinctive smell and such a sign of spring and summer. And that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Please do stay in touch as we broadcast throughout the seasons and just sort of document some of the plant life which you can expect to see as you take your visit throughout our lakeside, and particularly today throughout our ancient woodlands, which we are very, very proud of. Other than that, guys, enjoy your bank holiday weekend. Enjoy yourselves if you do come and visit the lakeside. Take care, stay safe, look after yourselves, and be kind to each other. Thank you.